Hi, welcome to my video titled Jodi Arias, Life or Death. My name is Carl Tortmas. I'm a former Deputy Warden in New Mexico and Arizona Department of Corrections. Welcome to my video slide. Only a couple of weeks away from another hearing, Jodi Arias' fate hinges on receiving life in prison or the death penalty. The main focus will be Jodi Arias' mental status and whether or not she's mentally ill or just obsessed with personality traits that prompted her criminality. Unfortunately, she has killed someone and has not paid a price. How she pays the piper is up to the jury. She could be executed by lethal injection if found to be qualified to receive the death penalty, or she could spend the rest of her life in prison, where she will have to adjust her behavior in order to survive it. Going to death row will pose no threat to society or the prison population. She would be isolated and controlled every time she leaves her cell, and housed with others sharing the same fate. Her destiny would be simple. She would simply pursue her appeal process and patiently await a decision down the line. She may have to wait 12 years or so before actually getting executed. On the other hand, if she gets life, either with or without parole, Jodi will have to engage in some behavioral modification training for her obsessive compulsive behavior, to be in control all the time and calling the shots. It's not in the cards that she would be in control of the prison environment, and this would cause her much anguish, stress, and frustration. Ironically, these are the same exact triggers that have prompted her to commit the crime, in my opinion. Her obsession with controlling and possessing Travis Alexander, were repetitive and spontaneous thoughts that were intrusive and unrelenting, causing a backlash of violent thoughts and acts. Having said that, I don't think her obsessions are the real problem. I think it's the manner she thinks and acts upon those thoughts that are the problem. Sufferers of obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD, know all too well the torment of these perverse and strange thoughts, which can accompany violent or even graphic images. For them, it's a prison sentence of solitary confinement, inescapable and seemingly deserved. That's my opinion. There are many who fear losing their minds while struggling to make sense of the ideas foreign to their values and beliefs, and not so much as they repeat themselves in the sense of creating new images, creating new ideas based on the original ideas, expanding from the obsessive thoughts, in other words. Jodi Arias' only hope is that she receives treatment for her behavioral problem. In a simplified answer, she needs to be retrained in dealing with her obsessions and rethink her impulse control and react differently than she's done before. In other words, she needs to direct a new meaning to her thoughts and appraise or realize the real values of being realistic or unrealistic. Fortunately, prison time will solve that problem by the mere limitations of amenities and possibilities while in solitary confinement or isolation. Going back to her obsessions, she needs to learn to recognize the difference between realistic and unrealistic appraisals of herself, of others around her, and the real environment around her, which would be, no doubt, the prison environment. Time will be on her side. There will be plenty of time to ponder and try to manage her inner self and outer behaviors. Obsessive episodes come and go and are basically unwanted intruders no matter where you are. Thus, prison is not going to impede her compulsive behaviors. She must openly confront them when they appear and deal with them without fear she has so commonly expressed or displayed during her relationship with Travis Alexander, or perhaps before Travis Alexander. The fear of losing affection, the fear of that she wasn't good enough for him, and the fear that other people were looking down on her. There were others, but the point is she has to deal with fear. Fear will be diminished inside prison. There are no social fears, there are no relationship fears, and there are no fears of being accepted or rejected. It's just fair to say that the only fear inside a prison is to stay alive. Going back to the jury hearing, the jurors must be aware that what she did was not due to a mental illness, but rather poor impulse control and anger issues, as well as the obsessions that let her self be controlled during this relationship. The jurors must also be aware that although life circumstances are contributing factors, They are not the reason for her criminality. They need to realize her mind is working fine, like a fine-tuned engine, but that the engine is often interrupted by sudden electronic impulses that are unwanted and annoying. They can be reduced by redirecting different thoughts when triggered with an intrusive message or signal. Jodi Arias must be allowed to recognize these false messages and create a new way of reacting to them to avoid doing the same thing she's done up to this point in her life. I suspect that if she has prison time to serve, this would be an admirable goal. But prison conditions just don't have the time or program to do this realistically, at least not in Arizona prisons. The truth is, we all have bad thoughts. This neither makes us evil, mentally ill, or murderers. The difference is how we handle these negative thoughts and how we act out on them. Finally, when it's all said, Jodi Arias is a victim of her own device and her own demise. She fueled her obsessions, her hatred personality, and created the evilness inside her because she never tried to manage her behavior, nor did anyone else try to help her address these issues. The fact is, the more anxiety and stress she experienced, the more intrusive and harmful these obsessions became, and in the end, she failed to control her own behavior and let herself override the moral codes of her mind, and did what she wanted to do in the end: kill Travis Alexander because he rejected her, and if she wasn't going to have it, nobody else would either. The bottom line is, obsessions are not real problems at all. It's the meaning we give to them that makes all the difference in the world, how you cope with them emotionally. As always, thank you for watching my videos. Please share and comment.